Today we're getting into the latest Tesla news, including the new Model 3 and Y Sport interior coming soon, first Highland Model 3 deliveries, Cybertruck updates, and more, so let's get into it, and a special thanks to Fanttik for sponsoring a portion of this video. First up today, the Tesla Model Y has broken a 10-year-old sales record in Denmark. More units of the Model Y have been sold in a single year than any other car in Denmark's history, and it's only October. The Model Y was launched there in the second half of 2021, and throughout 2023, it's broken several monthly sales records. It was the best-selling vehicle in the first half of the year, with more than 3 times as many registrations as the next best-selling option, and its popularity is only increasing. The Model 3 also made the top 5 list, selling 1,665 units. In September, more Model Ys were registered than the next 5 competitors combined. At that point, Denmark had over 50,000 Teslas on the road, accounting for about 2% of all cars in the country. Now they've officially sold more Model Ys in a single year than any other brand in the country's history. The previous record holder was the VW Up, with 12,940 units sold in 2013. With 2 months left, Tesla could still add a few thousand more sales to that record. At the start of the year, the Model Y became the best-selling vehicle in the world, and not just the best-selling EV. Since then, it has stayed on track to defend its title as the best-selling vehicle overall in 2023 as well. With Tesla still working to ramp production on the Model 3 and Y, and working to open several new factories, I only expect these sales to increase in the coming years. Next up today, Tesla appears to be making a big change to the Model 3 Highland that we will likely be seeing on the Model Y very soon. The newly released Model 3 is seeing first deliveries over in Europe, as we'll detail in a bit, but the performance version has been left off the table for the time being. Recently, we got confirmation through leaks that Tesla is working on an upgraded performance model. This badge appears to look like it would be a plaid, but now it looks like it's a new ludicrous badge that Tesla will introduce on the Performance Model 3 when it releases. We're still waiting on this car in any form in North America, but when it comes, the performance model should deliver. Not only will it deliver in performance specs, but in sport comfort as well. According to information leaked in Tesla's latest software update, updated for the Highland Model 3 launch, Tesla has an unannounced sport trim for the Model 3. The refreshed Model 3 comes in either base or sport, and the sport version features different front seats with bolstered side support and headrests. The photos from the app actually detail these seats pretty well, and they really stick out over the base seats. What we expect is that the sport trim will only be available on the Performance Model 3. Typically in the past, a sport trim really hasn't been something that Tesla shipped. A Performance Model 3 existed, but was nearly indistinguishable from a base model inside. This should be a great way for them to make their more expensive trims look and feel nicer inside, as opposed to just driving faster. While the front seats are the main thing we notice different here, both trims, base and sport, also have changes in the rear head support, as we can see detailed in the app. We've somewhat known this for the Highland Model 3, but it's confirmed here. So it looks like this delay for a Performance Model 3 is understandable both from a performance and interior perspective, and I'm very excited to see these changes come to Tesla's most popular car, the Model Y. Tesla sells the Model Y in 3 trims in the US right now, and as I mentioned has been the case for the Model 3, the interiors are nearly indistinguishable from one another. Even if you're paying $9,000 more for a Performance Model Y over a rear-wheel drive Model Y, they look the same. To a degree, I think this is something that holds customers back from upgrading. Soon, though, that could change. The Project Juniper Model Y has been rumored for some time now, and essentially it's the same upgrade we've now seen on the Model 3, but to Tesla's most popular car. The changes are expected sometime in 2024. Everything that the Project Highland Model 3 is bringing is expected to come to the Model Y in due time, and that will mean a performance, sport, ludicrous Model Y is coming soon. Not only will it have the performance we're now expecting from a ludicrous Model 3, but it will bring ventilated sport seats with added support. I've always felt that Tesla's trims weren't quite distinguished from one another enough, and this will surely do the trick. It definitely marks a pretty big change for Tesla, who is all about simplifying production, but it's an important one as they face growing competition, especially over in China. It's a great example of why competition is good for the customer, because it's forcing Tesla to make changes that help their cars stand out. The Model 3 Highland is already an impressive upgrade, and I can't wait to see all of those upgrades come to the Juniper Model Y, but I'm even more excited to see the upgraded Sport Model Y. Most likely, it'll finally bring the upgrades that make me and others like me want to buy a Performance Model Y over the base interior. As for a timeline, we can expect these changes to first come to the Model 3 out of China when the Performance model is released there, and then then come when Tesla launches the Model Y Juniper, seemingly in China first. I would expect that to happen a little after the Model 3 Highland is first introduced in the US, and then by the end of 2024, we could see the Model Y finally get a true refresh in the US. Next up today, the latest Cybertruck updates. Tesla seems to be sticking to a steady pace of 3 new Cybertrucks a day rolling out of Gigafactory Texas. On the 24th, 3 were in Giga Texas's outbound lot, and 2 more were spotted at their supercharging station. The next day, 3 more Cybertrucks were spotted in the outbound lot, with 1 more charging up at the supercharger. Then a thoroughly tested Cybertruck body was found in their recycling yard, with the word scrap spray painted on it. Then a whole bunch of Cybertrucks were spotted together in a parking lot. This video was posted anonymously, and it's unclear where this is or why they're all here. Some have the RC wrap, and one is camouflaged just on the back. Since some of these are labeled as release candidates, we're sure that this is all Tesla's doing. For some reason, Tesla is collecting all of them in one location. Over in a parking lot, the Cybertruck was spotted parked next to a Model Y, and Everyday Wow took a great video walking around them. It's one of the best walkarounds we've seen of a car we're familiar with right next to the Cybertruck. Then this release candidate was spotted at a supercharger in Palo Alto, and we got some rare close-ups. In this close-up of the active charge port, we can see the triangular charging indicator light that's unique to this truck. Most Teslas have a T symbol here, but this one is in the shape of the truck. One thing that may be a concern order holders have is that it looks like a rust spot is on the driver's side door, right about where you would grab to open and close the door. Of course, we have to keep in mind that we don't know what kind of testing Tesla may be doing with this truck. Tesla could be particularly testing for rust in this scenario. The same fan spotted another Cybertruck too with a graffiti wrap. This one is caked in mud, indicating it's also been through a lot of testing. This photo of the interior reveals their testing equipment plugged into the dash and those special seatbelts used for testing this truck on very rough roads. They got a close-up of the bed too. On the side there are some luggage loops that look like they could be moved across the track they're attached to. Then we can also see an RC branded spare tire holder, which holds the tire vertically, presumably to save space. That bolts directly to the bottom of the truck, and then you strap the tire in with cloth straps. There's no telling if this is going to be an accessory that Tesla will offer themselves, or if this is something that they're just testing on their test models. It seems to me that this would interfere with an understorage compartment or closing the tonneau cover. In the video of the truck driving away, we can see the luggage rack in use. We also got a good look at an empty bed in this video. The automatic tonneau cover rolls up, takes a sharp corner, and then exits to reveal the back window. There's no audio in this video, so I'm curious to see how smooth this is when it's in motion. One Cybertruck was spotted with a motorcycle fully sitting in the truck bed, showcasing the size of the bed. This motorcycle is a Honda Africa Twin and is about 7 foot 8 inches long, so it fits diagonally in the Cybertruck's bed. Then another fan spotted a Cybertruck going through a drive-thru in Florida. From inside the McDonald's, we can see this one, and it doesn't have any side mirrors. Driving away, it's revealed to have California plates, so this one was either shipped across the country or had a multi-thousand-mile road trip. I'm wondering if this is Tesla making sure that this truck can get through a drive-thru okay, or if an employee just wanted some McDonald's. The fact that it doesn't have side mirrors, though, is very intriguing. They're still legally required for Tesla to ship, but they say they can be removed, so it will be interesting to see what the replacement is inside the Cybertruck. Before we go any further, I'd like to thank today's sponsor, Fanttik. They've just released 2 new portable, cordless, compact vacuums that are more effective than ever. Their V10 Mate delivers impressive suction, but the V10 Apex delivers even stronger suction power and battery life. This is the one I have, but the V10 Mate is a great alternative at a lower price point. The V10 Apex is my favorite vacuum for small messes both in my home and in my car. With a pull-out crevice nozzle that pivots up to 210 degrees, it can reach just about any space. Then 50 air watts of suction power and a 35-minute battery life means it always gets the job done. Here I am in high power mode, which lasts 13.5 minutes, so even though it goes down 1% each 8 seconds or so, that's an accurate reading for 13.5 minutes of high power vacuuming. It can adapt to every cleaning scenario, including cleaning cracks in seat cushions, under your seats, and wide areas like your floor mats. The LED smart display makes it an interactive experience, showing you the power level, suction modes, and a dust dumping reminder. Then when you're done, you can easily charge it back up using a USB-C cable in your home or in your vehicle. To check out either of these incredible vacuums, click the links in the description below, select the Amazon coupon, and use my discount code RyanV10Mate or RyanV10 Apex for a total of 30% off of your order. This deal is only up for a limited amount of time, so order soon. Next up today, an upcoming Tesla over-the-air software update will be adding ways like road hazard reporting, supercharger congestion fees, better alternate routes, and more. Tesla hacker Green has uncovered a lot of new features in software version 2023.38. First, a supercharger congestion fee will affect drivers that charge above 80% at a busy supercharger station. That could be a smart move considering charging speeds drastically decrease after 80%. If everyone moves on after getting to that 80% charge, a lot more people will be able to access these chargers when needed. This is similar to Tesla's idle fee that exists right now, which will cost you money if you leave your car parked at a supercharger stall after it's finished charging. Since that is already an existing feature, this new fee would be easy to deploy for them. That might be a controversial choice for Tesla though. In 2019, Tesla rolled out a similar solution to supercharging congestion, where they just limited owners' state of charge to 80% at certain stations. That worried a lot of people because there are definitely some situations where you need to charge to 100%, like when you're on a road trip or going somewhere where you won't be able to charge. Tesla ended up modifying the feature to still allow owners to charge up to 100%. The default state of charge would be set to 80% automatically at a busy charger, but then owners could still manually move it up to 100% to continue to charge. So if this feature makes it into this next update, if you decide to override that charging limit, you may be charged a fee if it's busy. We don't know yet how much that fee would be or what qualifies a supercharger to be busy enough to charge this fee, but this feature could be arriving soon or not, so we'll see. The next leaked feature is that Tesla vehicles will soon share hazard data with each other when they detect an object in the road. So if your car detects an object in the road, that hazard warning will automatically show up on other Tesla's maps. Waze has a similar feature that requires user input on road construction or hazards manually through the app, but Tesla's navigation app will do it automatically. This new feature will likely be accompanied by more, as Tesla has partnered with Emergency Safety Solutions Inc. to even further enhance the safety of their vehicles. Their navigation app will also be adding dynamic alternate route suggestions that will keep Tesla drivers consistently informed about potential route changes. Then another safety feature they may introduce is auto-dialing emergency services. If an airbag is deployed, 911 will automatically be called. Then in certain areas, the system would be able to tap into a connected phone via Bluetooth. All of these features are of course still a work in progress and will need to be further developed before they're rolled out. We may not see all of them in this next update, but it's exciting to see Tesla working on these huge improvements that will come to all existing Tesla owners. Next up today, Tesla seems to be doubling down on their advertising efforts, officially shifting away from their no-ad strategy. In the past, Elon has said they don't need to dump money into marketing because their products speak for themselves. In fact, right after the Super Bowl in the US, Tesla usually experiences a sales spike even though they have never run a Super Bowl ad. Over the last few months though, they seem to have decided that their sales numbers just weren't high enough, as they've taken out airport advertising and expanded their online ads. Tesla investors have been advocates for the company advertising more for a while now, and Elon has taken that opinion into consideration. Back in June, they started launching Google ads in the UK and in the US for their solar products. Now they have about 300 different ads on Google, featuring all kinds of headlines relating to pricing after incentives. Some also mention the vehicles being built in Texas and their safety ratings. Then in Japan, their advertisements have been spotted on display at the airport. This one is huge, taking up an entire wall over about 8 separate displays. The video shows their superchargers and autopilot features, while the static display is called the Model Y #1, referencing it being the best-selling vehicle in the world. The QR code on that screen likely takes you right to their website, where you can place an order. That form of advertising is probably more effective for Tesla than it is for other automakers. While most automakers have to rely on showing customers the most striking image so that they can go through a dealer to actually buy the vehicle, Tesla can just include a QR code and say, "You like this car? Go ahead and order it right now." It makes sense for Tesla to advertise in Japan specifically for 2 reasons. First, it's not the most hospitable market for foreign automakers because customers tend to prefer domestically made vehicles. So Tesla needs a little help to get into the average car buyer's line of sight. What's helping them though is that Japanese automakers are reluctant to make EVs, much like many US automakers. That means the EV market is wide open for Tesla since Japanese customers looking to make the switch don't have many great options domestically. While this is a giant ad and has already garnered a lot of attention in the Tesla community, it is only one ad, and it's not the existing Tesla community's eyes they're trying to reach. I'm curious to see if their efforts pay off and if we'll see a sales spike in Japan soon. Hopefully it's worth it for them because the Japanese market is an excellent opportunity to expand. I'm also curious if we'll see any data revealing how effective their Google advertising is. That has the potential to reach a lot more eyes than a physical ad. But what are your thoughts on Tesla advertising? Where is the main space that they need to advertise in your eyes? Leave a comment below to let me know your thoughts. Next up today, the refreshed Model 3 is continuing to roll out across Europe, most recently being introduced in the Netherlands, Poland, and France. First deliveries in the Netherlands were solid black and pearl white multi-coat models, as spotted on this delivery truck. Ultra red and blue have also been spotted there since, so they're working quickly to get a wide variety of trims out there. Over there, Tesla offers rear-wheel drive and dual-motor all-wheel drive long-range variants, with the base model starting at about $45,875 US. Then the long-range variant starts at $54,412 US. It looks like these have already started reaching customers, as this one was spotted in Apeldoorn. This may even be one of the first deliveries out there. Around the same time, this refresh was spotted offloading from a delivery truck in Warsaw, Poland, and another truckload of them was spotted in Paris, France. Those appear to be all stealth gray and white. This is following the refreshed Model 3's introduction in Germany several days earlier. In the last couple days, there have been a ton of sightings across Germany of delivery trucks filled with these cars. Delivery estimates there are between 2 and 6 weeks now. For now, those models are coming out of Gigafactory Shanghai, and deliveries in China are expected to start by the end of this month. Giga Shanghai is Tesla's primary vehicle export hub and their largest factory by output. Tesla recently estimated that factory's annual output to be over 950,000 vehicles at their Q3 2023 update. So it's no surprise they've been exporting a lot of these Model 3 refreshes, and we're about to see a whole lot more of them in Europe. With this huge influx of deliveries in Germany, Tesla has a good chance of meeting their goal of delivering 1.8 million vehicles in 2023. With all of these deliveries, we're going to start getting confirmations on all of the new features this car has. But in the meantime, many customers are still relying on Tesla's configurator to see what their vehicle could be delivering with. One feature that's been questioned so far is the front bumper camera. The front bumper camera briefly reappeared on the Model 3 in the configurator, but it seems to have been there by mistake. It was only for one specific configuration and only in the UAE. If you selected stealth gray paint and a white interior, it popped up, but none of the other renderings had it. And now it's completely gone. So it's safe to say that the refreshed Model 3 will not be delivered with a camera on the front bumper in any configuration. We can also now see that in photos that have been shared throughout Europe. It's not likely that Tesla would only ship some refreshed Model 3s at this point with a camera there. So since these don't have those cameras, it's likely none of them will. I wouldn't be surprised if Tesla does end up adding that camera in the next few months though. Last up today, some updates from other automakers. We've been hearing a lot about Tesla's price drops recently, but the Chevy Blazer EV is actually getting marked up, and by a lot. First models of this car were shipped in July, so they're starting to appear at dealer lots now, and the demand is high. Some models have been marked up by as much as $10,000, and this really comes as no surprise when looking at the dealer model. When they opened orders last month, we heard the first two models offered would be the 2LT all-wheel drive and RS all-wheel drive, starting at $56,715 and $60,215 MSRP respectively. After the $7,500 tax credit, the 2LT can be brought down to $50,000, but it's unlikely anyone will be able to get that price after dealer markups, at least right now. This dealer in Wisconsin has one listed for over $71,000, citing the current market situation as the reason for the increase. This is a common issue with legacy automakers since they still sell cars through dealers and their cars are in very low supply and high demand. With the Tesla Model Y now starting just under $44,000 before incentives, it's hard to justify this price, especially when marked up. At the same time, GM has delayed production of both the Orion, Silverado, and Sierra EV to late 2025. They say it's not related to the ongoing United Auto Workers strike, citing EV demand and a need for engineering upgrades. They also mention needing to better manage capital investment. For now, they plan to transfer 1,000 workers from their Orion assembly plant to their other Michigan factories. Toyota has been working on a Hilux BEV in markets where the gas-powered Hilux truck has been popular. It's still in early development, but it's been tested by Toyota's engineers in Australia. According to Toyota Australia's VP of Sales, Marketing, and Franchise Operations, it, quote, looks, feels, and drives like a production model, even though it's still technically just a concept. No specs have been released yet, but the truck's design language follows its gas-powered equivalent pretty closely with a single cab and extended bed. Since the current Hilux isn't offered in the US, I don't expect that we'll see the BEV version here either, but this could signify progress for Toyota on the EV front. Most likely it'll be introduced in their Asian markets first, where there is a lot more competition already for EVs. That's all the latest Tesla news for today, so in the meantime, if you want to see the leaked pricing for the Cybertruck and why it's so high, you can check out that video linked up here or in the description below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.